Mic check. There we go. Okay. See if this is right. Okay. Enough of that. All right, y'all. We are back. Welcome back. This is Eric T. This is Dissect Dialogue. If you're new, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Sorry for the wait. Episode 117. Let's get it started. Now, I already know what people are going to say. Where have you been? I mean, I've been waiting for it. Why ain't you been talking about this? So much stuff going on. Y'all, I've been telling y'all this ever since, probably since the beginning I've been doing this. I still cater to this side of, my endeavors or whatever I do. But I got other things I want to get out too. Like I just told earlier, which I'll say later on in the show, but I'll mention it later. I'll mention it later. But I just came back from doing like an acting gig actually yesterday. So I'm busy, okay? So sometimes I might come. You know what? I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 this week. I'm going to try to do a second one next chance I get, or a third one just to catch up with the algorithm since y'all have been waiting so patiently. I'll say that. My dedicated sponsors and supporters, well, I don't have sponsors yet, but my supporters that have been patiently waiting for me to say anything, talk on any subject. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been going on. Yeah, just doing the acting gig. Still got other things I'm trying to plan on. But I don't know. I mean, Trump with these tariffs. Shoot. I mean, all these. I mean, celebrity stuff is like kind of like null and void. Rest in peace to old dude from LSU. I forget his name. Like Corey Long. I forget his name. But some of these athletes just passing. It's like weird now. It's like a lot of athletes are like just dropping like flies. Like I've never like seen this happen before ever. Everybody just going crazy, just losing their shit, just losing they marbles. It's like any little inconvenience, people they just go berserk, no matter what, no matter how big or how small. Then they try to like flip narratives and like try to make it seem like it was one thing or the other. Then we're all like looking confused, like not knowing what the hell's going on. But it's kind of how we do it. But speaking on that, this is probably, like I said, I've been aloof, so it's the story that's been going on. So I'll just mention it. So let me go ahead and share this real quick. Hold on. Let me know if y'all can see this. Ignore what? Why would they show that? Anyway. Oh gosh. Okay. What are they saying? Okay. So y'all probably heard about this before. Old dude from they had a teen, Austin Metcalf, but the dude that got stabbed. Now that one black dude, they're in a track meet. Let me see what it say. So a teenager accused of fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf, leaving him to die in the twin brother's arms at a high school track meet, allegedly admitted to the senseless killing, but claimed it was in self-defense. Quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it." That's a YN for real. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony chilling told, I shouldn't be laughing at this, told police in Frisco, Texas, as he was being arrested at Kirkendall Stadium, according to an arrest warrant obtained by NBC DFW. Stabbing was sparked when Anthony, who was sitting under another team's pop-up tent as it rained Wednesday morning, was asked by Metcalf to move. First of all, asking someone to move is kind of an oxymoron because you could ask someone to, you don't mind, we were waiting for somebody. Asking somebody to move, you pretty much tell them to get your ass up. That's basically what I hear. Then they said he refused, according to the report. Why they got him looking like this? Anthony didn't unzip the bag, reached inside and told Metcalf, who he never met before, quote, touch me, see what happens, a witness told police, according to the document. Moments later, Metcalf grabbed Anthony, told him to move, and Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest. Damn. He ran away and was chased down and arrested. Okay. Now, let me get off of this. Hold on, let me stop sharing real quick. Okay, so I've been hearing about these stories a lot. And to be honest, I'm at a point where I'm kind of bored of it now. I'm not saying that these people that aren't like this not real, like people aren't really dying from senseless violence, things like that. At the same token, does anybody not think that it's like planned at certain points? Meaning, like when certain incidents were happening, when the government's acting funny, when prices is rising up, food is getting shorted, all these things. You can't even get eggs no more. Gas going up, all this. You can't get good water. It's always those moments where it's a couple of teenage kids just stabbing each other over nothing. Like it's stupid. It's like where's the where's like the normalcy there? But I'll just tell you from what I just read. What I just read sounds like self defense. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, obviously. But from what I read, it sounds like self defense. Now, if now all of a sudden they're trying to change the narrative because they're saying first of all, he pulled out a knife out of a bag. That's number one. First of all, what is your young self doing carrying a bag? Ooh, excuse me. I need to go sleep after this. Carrying a bag with a big ass knife in the first place. And they said a black knife. I mean, you ain't gonna see the blood. I shouldn't be making fun of this, but no. Let's just dive into this. Does America like enjoy race wars? Do they want a race war? Because like I think ever since like let me see. I say as far as like the Trayvon back to the Trayvon Martin thing. I noticed there was like patterns and repeated patterns of like that story that gets news coverage, right? Of like a young black teen that's life was taken away by some, you know, middle-aged Caucasian that thought he was above the law. You know, we all do a boo-hoo somber and do like a little protest and then go back to the regular shit show that we was already doing. And I think it's been happening for like the last decade or so. Now all of a sudden, and I don't know because I don't. Maybe they talked about it like major headlines, but as far as when I first heard about it, it wasn't getting no major headline. I wasn't seeing any major headlines pop because I would have known it would have if CNN would have brought it up, if all these different news stations would have popped, like Fox or CNN or all these things like that, but it didn't really happen like that. It could have been the the way the story was framed was shifted because a black dude was defending himself and the white boy was the victim of violence. Does it not fit their narrative? Because I think a lot of times, I've always said this. One of the people think like one of the what's like one of the biggest industries to make money, and people say politics, people say entertainment. I say war. I say war. You know why I say war? Because you could diversify it in different ways. There's physical war where you get soldiers to get blown up, limbs and ligaments, entrails fly into oblivion. You got the emotional war, um, you know, reality TV, stuff with relationships, men and women fighting, whatever, gender wars, really, you know, emotional. Then you got mental, You got your mental wars. That's your government playing tricks on us, trying to make us be scared of going outside or doing anything, traveling, all these things. Then you got your spiritual wars, where you got people trying to say, which is funny, like, because my girlfriend, we just talking to some elderly couple. They try to throw, 'cause I guess they was talking about, church they was going to, and there was like hit us with a curveball. We went, and when my girl, she was saying that we didn't. They kind of looked at us puzzled, like they wanted to crucify us almost. But it's like weird, like, and not to get on religion, but I think when it comes to that, especially with us, like it's like it's not even like a fellowship no more. When it comes to religion, it's not even a fellowship. It's more like a cult, very cult like. Because if your religion, it's almost like groups. Like if your religion doesn't, it isn't the same as theirs or fall in the same category as theirs, it look at you funny. It's almost like indoctrinated, almost. And I think that at the same token, I think when it comes to seeing stuff like this on the news, I think we're indoctrinated to believe that, you know, a young black male's life is kind of disposable. Why is it all the time we need to be celebrated and, you know, immortalized when we're killed? I never did really like some of the protests. At first, I was like trying to dig into it and like think I'm doing a good cause. But then I looked how they try to sensationalize it and not make it about this person that was murdered in cold blood, but to make it seem, it's like marketing. Everybody wants to market something. Everybody always wants to look for a dollar, even when it comes to war. War is like a billion something dollar industry. Man, I need to sleep, but not until I finish this. So with this story, it's just really puzzling because first of all, the stories keep switching. First, they're saying this young black male was just crazy and just went on OJ mode and just just jerked them. But then they're saying no, he was just sitting down. And then this one person told him to move, whatever. Then it was like self defense because he put hands on him. Now they're saying, oh, he was constantly bullied or whatever, and so that's why he did it. And so it came like that. And usually, when stories keeps changing, that's when I start to believe it much less. Same thing happened with the George Floyd thing. At first, I was like trying to think, okay, what's the situation with this going on? Because I mean, I don't even care if you in handcuffs. I mean, it's not like do the right thing with big dude just getting. I mean, if you really that crazy and on drugs and you big as hell, you'll find a way to break out of that. So I never did the whole need to whatever. I don't know. It's almost like trauma porn with the news. It's always trauma. It's like some sort of trauma porn, where it's almost like we're addicted to seeing sad shit. That's why I don't even really watch it. It's like we're programmed to look at stuff that makes us sad. That's what I get from that. We're programmed to see morbid things and very gruesome, but we don't like anything violent. We don't like seeing anything depressing or violent unless it's people that look like me getting killed by cops. But genocide in certain neighborhoods with people that look like me is getting swept under the rug. Or in situations like the Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony situation, where it's not getting headline coverage because it doesn't fit their narrative. They don't want to put the narrative of this white guy was killed because of an act of self defense because they were bothering someone. See, now the other individuals, they had, you notice how they always had like a background of what they did. Trayvon was, looked like he was suspicious walking around in the neighborhood with a hoodie on. Did his Facebook. Oh, look at his Facebook page. He wasn't a good kid. Mike Brown was stealing cigarillos. So they had a story to fit it almost. So it would make sense that they could flip it. But with Austin Metcalf, apparently they were just going through and this is how I know it's like not even, it's like soon as like when it's flipped, they always try to find pics of like what they was doing and all that. But then I think of someone like a Kyle Rittenhouse, 17 years old, had a gun, shot up a church. Where did he get the gun from? Where did he how is he registered with an assault rifle and he's underage? These things I don't understand. It just constantly gets mixed up on the sauce because of whatever reason. I don't know. But I don't know. That story is an interesting one. And now that they're saying they're raising up his GoFundMe to like 300,000 to free him and all that. Like I don't know. Like this is why I stay away from like watching stuff like that because it's not really my cup of tea. I don't really like. What do I gain from looking from hearing the story? It just sounds like it was just an act of passion with it. But because it was, black dude that stabbed him, white boy that looked like he was a good athlete, they're gonna try to change the narrative. They're gonna try to make it seem like it's not as big as what they're making it. That type of stuff. But let it be flipped. Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, Tyler Perry, Oprah, everybody going all of a sudden come. They're gonna be 5 biopics after him. Like it's, you know what it is, and people not gonna like this. Kind of know Kanye's under some heat. Speaking of which, we need to discuss what's going on with that man. But that interview he had with academics, he was saying that when they were talking about like, the Jewish community, that sound like a goat. The Jewish community and like Hitler and all that. He was saying that I can't talk about their pain without getting punished, but that community can talk about our pain and profit off of our suffering. When I see stuff like a Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Philando Castile, all these individuals with the Black Lives Matter thing, I see that as you know more examples of, in a way, I see that people see like blood money when it comes to crime, like dope dealing and all that. I think that with the whole Black Lives Matter, I think that was blood money. Was it not? Was that not? Was that not money made off of the cold blood of murdered young black men? Was that not in this fall in the same category? So yeah, that's for the birds though. I ain't knocking that, but let's but in the lighter news, let's move on to some. What is up with Kanye? Let me find. Hold on, I gotta find. Let me look up. Let me look up this man. Let me. What is he? Hold on. What the hell does he have on, bro?
Oh,
I can't take him seriously, man. Oh gosh, that dude is such a troll. But that's a prime example of, narrative flipping. People see him wearing a KKK outfit, wearing a Nazi chain, and ignored a whole hour and some change of what he's saying. That's how images shapes it. We just see certain images and just run with whatever narrative is going on, regardless of hearing more or whatever. They're not given a chance to look at it and paint a picture of it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now. I hate to. This is probably going to be like one of the small ones, one of the short ones. Like I said, y'all, I'm busy. Oh, now that I'm mentioning it, hold on, let me turn this down too, because I know last time y'all didn't really catch my joke. Okay, so for those y'all know me very well, y'all know my other endeavors I do. So that was the wrong thing. That was the wrong one. But hold on, been doing this for years and still having trouble figuring this shit out. But this is what I have in store. Get ready. Hold on. Your boy's making a movie. Oh no! Turn this down. Yes. Hold on. Get the cheers in. Get the cheers in. There we go. Y'all can probably hear me now. Okay. I'm probably talking over again. But yes, I am making a film. Let me pause that. I'm making a film. Finally, I've been saying I was going to do it. And like I said, I think you know when I was young. I mean, I'm still kind of like a movie nerd to some degree. I took a pause because like life stuff happening. So like a lot of times, like with movies, I took a pause off. But I think I'm like falling back in love with like just watching movies, seeing how they're made, all that. So I used to be like a straight nerd. Well, I still am kind of a straight nerd when it comes to certain movies. People will be surprised like the stuff that I know about certain films. But yeah, I'm trying to like. First, I was just into like the main directors here, but then I looked up different languages of films all around. But now I'm trying to like see different films all around the world. Looking through some old ones that are big. Like I'm trying to do all that. I'm trying to do all that. But I still want to have this on the side. Don't get me wrong. I still think this is like one of my ways of because people say like blogging. You're writing whatever. And me doing a video, it's almost like I'm kind of freestyle, right? Just on my because right, like everything I'm saying, I'm not really writing this down. Like all the episodes that I've done, I've never really wrote down. This is just me. Just well, the only thing you could say that I wrote down was probably the questions that I typed. That's the only thing, and maybe my like opening script, opening closing of the script. That's like the only thing you can say that I probably written down. But everything else is just coming off the head. But yes, making short film. I'm trying to get my cast together. I want to do it. I want to try to shoot it around the fall. So I got plenty of time. I just got to get my cast set up. So if I'm gonna be ghost for a little bit, y'all wonder why. Don't be surprised because I'm gonna be gone for a minute. But yeah, finally doing it. Like I said, I wrote the script. Of course, I'm gonna direct it. Can't hire nobody else to do it. I just need like crew. I just need just the crew. Like I said, I'll learn this shit myself if I have to. Like as far as camera, working the camera and like getting someone to like do boom and lights. I'll figure it out. Trust me. I'll figure it out. That's a no brainer for me. I'm not taking like no 2, 3 extra years to do post a product and all that just to get the sound right. Like I said, I watch too many people. And, like I'm a person that likes observing, so as much good people have when it comes to what they do, I also look at like certain minor things of what not to do. Because we all have our mishaps when we're not necessarily good at. So I try to know my position, see what they got going on. Cause yeah, had some good moments being behind the scenes. Had some bad moments that I've also learned. But sometimes I think the bad moments will kind of push you to go further, and that's what I think happened to me. I think some not so great moments that occurred for me while playing the background. Kind of working with directors on the side, kind of made me step in and be like, I could do I can do this way better. And plus, I'm pretty capable. I think I'm pretty capable, like doing different stuff. But my problem is, I like have so many interests that I just switch too much. So I don't want to just jump around doing multiple things. But I think I have the capability of just being all around, just creative person. I think I was put on this earth to do that. Artist, historical, it always has been to me. Leave something like anything art related, painting, drawing, movies, it's all related. But yep, that's the news, man. I mean, I'll let y'all know how that goes. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Apple, Spotify, you name it. That's where I'm at. IG, Home 9. But thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, I'm gone. Peace.